People deluded. I'm back again. Southampton won, Arsenal 3, Arsenal 3, Southampton 1. Arsenal with a superb comeback from a goal down to claim 3 points. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a happy man. I'm happy for a variety of reasons. I was disappointed to go out in the FA Cup in the manner we did. So to kind of get some sort of revenge over this team is good. Obviously, I'm always scared when we play Southampton at St. Mary's. We beat them. Obviously, with all due respect to beating Brighton, Newcastle, and West Bromwich Albion, take nothing away from those results, people. Personally, I feel they're great results. You've got to beat who's in front of you, but at the same time, I feel I wanted to see what my team is made of. You know, I still don't know what we're made of because we won today. We might lose on Saturday or whatever. Not to put a downer on things. My point being, I need to see my team play against a team which is a half decent side, which is exactly what Southampton are. They're well coached, they're well drilled, they're high intensity, and to come out of that winning is even more brownie points for me. Obviously, we're 30 points now, so we're 10 points clearer towards our goal of staying in this division. Again, you couldn't disrespect Southampton going into this game, and we can only play what's in front of us. But we need to remember we've got United on the weekend, so this is somewhat some sort of insurance with that. And obviously, it's 3 points. Again, it's a topsy-turvy season, a lot of movement. Hopefully, we can take advantage of that. You know, it was a fan. You know, when you look at some individual performances, we're going to obviously get on it, but you can't really pick a man of the match, which is all I want. You know, reaction from players. Players came into the starting lineup that didn't start on Saturday, and you saw what we're lacking, people. You know. I also feel credit where due. Collectively, it was a great performance. The tactics were spot on. I feel a number of players had a number of good performances. You know, Leno, even when we weren't really in the game, big saves from Leno today. Big performance. Deserved the clean sheet. It wasn't meant to be. Lacazette obviously missed a chance very early on in the game, but he kept his head up and was involved. For me, I was very impressed with him winning the ball back for our first goal. Obviously, he was involved in the second, and he obviously, you know, got his left boot on it in the second half to get the third. Pepe with a great performance. You know, Pepe was superb. I feel like Leno, Rob Holding's situation will probably be forgotten about. Cedric was a bad boy today at left back. Two different Cedrics that we saw today, people. The Cedric that played against Southampton on Saturday was a bit slow, but he was superb today. I don't need to talk about Bukayo Saka. You know what Bukayo Saka is on. You know what he brings us, you know. So it was a good performance from individuals. Granit Xhaka, you know. Everybody's quick, myself included, to highlight when he's playing poorly. But you need to mention that Xhaka bossed it today. He was involved in at least two of those goals. I think he actually won the ball back for one of those goals. And he got an assist for... Can't even remember. I'm so sure he gave the ball initially to Lacazette, and I'm sure Xhaka got an assist for Pepe's goal. There it came back to me. So I can't ask for anything. It was a superb performance. We can watch Match of the Day again, people. We did what we needed to do. Please make sure you hit the like button. What are you guys saying? Nobby is saying, bring on United. Come on, you Gooners. And there's fighting talk from Nobby. He's ready for war. Hopefully the boys are. And again, it gives us some confidence, but it's back to the training ground on what I'd imagine Thursday we're back in, and you know, Saturday weekend it's a big clash. We're going to be playing United at home. We beat them at their place. They're going to want to thump us over. Dare I say, it's a different Man United team than the one that played us. They're playing better. They're in a bit better form, and they're on crud. So you know, we did what we needed to do today. We'll focus about that result in the days to come. You know me, I'll do my previews and whatnot. But in relation to this game, it was good. What are you guys saying before I get into what I'm getting into, people? Just a fan is saying locked on and ready for a big night. Looking forward to another great show. I appreciate that. Adnan has said Pepe looks good on the left when we played him there this season. I think so as well. I think on the right, when you haven't got that partnership with the fullback, when any half decent fullbacks clocks that you're left footed and you just want to cut in, it's difficult. On the left hand side, off the ball positioning for him is better, and it gives him something more to stand on. For me, he has to reach decisions quicker. You know, clearly Pepe is a confidence player, and you saw that today. You know, you could see the confidence. You see the two nutmegs. You see the goal. You see him actually, for me, mucked in very well defensively, and he's unlucky not to finish the game really and truly. Pepe bossed it today, and on the left, that could be a thing. What you want to see by Pepe now is to keep that confidence up and get to a level where we can say, all right, cool, we've got Saka doing his thing now. We've got Pepe. I want to see them swap convincingly, frequently in the game. Then we got Martinelli coming and complicating matters as well. You know, it is what it is, people. I'm happy. 3 points. 3 goals. We reacted from a goal down. How many times have I sat here and said Arsenal have come back from behind? Arsenal have come back in the first half. You know, the only things or negatives I can kind of think of today, people, is sadly Thomas Partey and Smith Rowe. I haven't seen Arteta's comments. I don't know the severity on that. Severity, apologies. But they both came off with injuries, and Smith Rowe weren't in the squad on Saturday, and Partey came off the bench. And we know we have, had a lot of games, and there's been a lot of fatigue and stuff, and you're hoping that both of those players are available for Manchester United. Obviously, Tierney is missing, and it was a fantastic touch from our players to let Aubameyang know he's not forgotten. But again, we're hoping for the best with Aubameyang, but it further ties into uncertainties within our team, people. So yeah, they're the only negatives. But like I said, people, and another negative I would say is that initially it felt like we didn't learn our lesson, because it's another game against Southampton where there's a goal within the first half an hour, and we didn't learn that going into the game at the Emirates. We didn't learn it on Saturday, and we definitely didn't learn it today. Maybe old habits die hard. Saying that, though, getting into the game, people, and allow me to actually share my screen with you guys and talk about the game, people. I'll get back in the comments in a second, people. Let me make that 200 so it's better. I just mentioned fast start and needing to start fast against Southampton and the consequences of not. Saying that, though, I know we conceded very early on, like what we conceded, within the 3rd minute or something like that, where Armstrong, I think we started off strong. I think we shown that. I think we pressed them early. Obviously, Lacazette had that, it was a fast start, and Lacazette had that effort where he probably should have scored. McCarthy's done well, but he should have scored. And I'll give credit to Lacazette, because this season, I'm sure you've all seen, you see what confidence can do. We know Lacazette's quality, but you need to be confident. Lacazette looks a different player because he's found his belief again. How many times previously in previous months would Lacazette miss a chance like that, and you could see it evidently on his face that's all he's thinking about? I think Lacazette played very well to forgive himself, but in the first 10 minutes, I actually feel we started off well. I think it looked like, and I think you saw the whole game, I think both teams looked quite open. Both teams were open on the transition, and it was quite scary, I'm sure, for both managers. But for Arsenal, it looked like Southampton, whether it's fatigue, whether it's some of the changes, it looked like we made a fast start. All game Saka terrorized Jake Vodkins. The only good thing I saw Volkins, apologies, do was put in a cross where Leno forced to make a great save because Bellerin didn't close him down. But you saw it, Pepe looked on it, Saka looked on it, Xhaka played well. I think both midfields were quite open. I think whenever we pressed Southampton, they gave the ball away quite cheaply, and we were forcing them into mistakes. So it looked like there was a bit of positives. For me, it was disappointing to obviously a goal behind so early on. It was their first corner. It's a decent set piece from Ward-Prowse. But again, we're losing our men. And like against Everton away, Pepe's lost his man. Now, again, if I watch the game again, there could have been other people involved, but I saw Armstrong as a free runner, and he gets the run off Pepe, and he makes it count to Arsenal's detriment, people. So we've gone a goal down. Saying that, like I said, it felt like it's going to be one of those high-scoring, crazy sort of games, people, which it was to a degree. It did feel like we could score. One sort of beauty you took from that was a sense of, okay, they've taken the lead in the first 5 minutes or so. There's a long lot of football to be played. And Armstrong played well. I think Ward-Prowse played well. I think Shea Adams, the only thing he doesn't have is finishing. But we did quite well to react to that. And that's what I'm impressed with, because sometimes you're not going to start well. Sometimes you're going to have to win ugly. And I don't think we necessarily didn't start well or won ugly today. But these are elements that any team which gets top 4, stays in the league ahead of their rivals, wins the league, you need to show. So I'm happy that we was able to forgive ourselves for that goal and goal again, people. And again, to get ourselves back in the game very early on, I'm proud of us. 1-1, Lacazette, it won't be spoken about in his end of season highlights and whatnot, but he's actually pressed very well. Lacazette, forget the goals and the assists and whatnot. He wins the ball back very well. He wins a lot of fouls. He puts his body on the line. Very good performance from Lacazette, and rightly so. He looked knackered. Won't surprise me if he doesn't fall. It would surprise me better yet if he doesn't fall straight asleep on the coach home, people. Eat his little food and go to bed, because he ran a lot. Saka as well. In fact, the whole team should be a silent journey back, really. Everyone should be tired because you all put in the shift. But like I said, to react very well in the game was very good for me, people. Lacazette obviously pressed well. It was another mistake from Southampton, which you could see happening. Xhaka played in Pepe, and obviously Pepe scored, and it's fantastic for Pepe, because I'm sure, like a lot of you, we all sat here and said, you know what, Arteta could have started Willian. Pepe's kept his place, and really he weren't the poorest against Southampton on Saturday, but you could see him being a casualty in the team. He kept his place. If he didn't play good today, there'd be question marks. And now he played very well, and he deserved this goal. It does a lot for his confidence. Xhaka has stepped it up in this game, and Pepe, remember when you scored the winner against United a few what was it, last year or something? Going into that game, I think you can't come out of the team really and truly. You deserve to be there, assuming Aubameyang misses out. But yeah, we did well to get ourselves back in the game. The only problem I have is that, we look like we could score more, but we look like we can concede more. And the same can be said for Southampton. It was an open game on the transition, Both teams were cutting each other open essentially in 2-3 passes. And I think we look good. If I haven't said it already, Cedric played very well. Elements of unnecessary losing the balls from him in the midfield when he played it into midfield. But I think he offered an outlet going forward. He played a number of key passes. I think Cedric was a thorn in their side. They obviously threat, Ings had a chance. I spoke about Leno having to make a couple of big saves. Obviously, you're always scared when Armstrong and Ward-Prowse are lurking. I feel their fullbacks, when they did go forward, they were doing all right. But, they're showing that they're left and right back respectively. They're not of the quality of their two first choice ones, people. Like I said, another game, another early goal from Southampton is the only thing I can really look at. And I think so far we did well to score early. And apart from that brain fart with conceding that goal and getting caught flat-footed, I think we've done all right. 17 minutes in, we've had 4 shots and 2 on target. We look very good on the counter. I did want to test McCarthy because he's looking suspect even with his distribution when he's being pressed, people. As I just mentioned, Leno had to make a couple of big saves because Southampton did probably start the stronger of the team, and there were passages where they controlled the game. Obviously, you can't big up Leno enough. Obviously, Leno's going to get lost with Saka and all these guys playing well, but Leno did his thing and deserved the clean sheet. I did feel around the 30-minute passage, there was a 10-minute stage where Southampton probably began to have more possession and kind of dictate the game. I did feel at this point they actually had the better chances to score as well, because again, Leno's having to make more saves and all of those sort of things. Saka did very well for us. I think this is actually where Xhaka nips in front, and these are like at least 2 of the goals were at Southampton's doing. So I'm happy to see we exploited weakness and errors in the other team. It's lovely from Lacazette. Obviously, Saka is a lovely run. It's lovely composure from our number 7. And again, you're running out of superlatives or ways to really praise Bukayo Saka because you're seeing a lot from him. So, and it's just on the stroke of half time. I'm happy that I saw a bit of game management from our boys. Even Nicolas Pepe, we're having a corner just before half time, and I'm seeing Pepe. Again, I'm just assuming, but Pepe's pointing to his watch. This is telling man to calm down, sort of thing. Listen, Pepe, all I care about is what you're doing in terms of goals and assists. So again, the goals, the nutmegs, these are all going to get the highlights. But I really saw game management and grit from Pepe today. So yeah, to go in at halftime, I'm not going to lie, it changes my halftime talk if I'm Arteta in a positive sense even more because you've turned it around. The first thing I'm letting these boys know is we need to see game management. They're going to feel hard done by that. They're a goal behind. So they're going to come out roaring in the second half. Don't force it, don't concede another goal, but if you can score a third. And this is where you need to see game management and maturity. And I did think there were elements, it's like we didn't know whether to stick or twist, but I also saw elements in the second half that we was waiting, and waiting for opportunity. But at halftime, my thoughts were, Xhaka's doing well, Cedric's doing well, Laka's working. Saka, for me, is probably the brightest spark in the game. I think Holding's doing well with a lot of headers. Leno saved us. We've obviously done well to score 2 goals in the first half, which isn't said too often as an Arsenal fan. We've done well to get back in a game as well, people. But again, it's the halfway point, and we know that these 3 points probably mean a hell of a lot more to us than Southampton. There'll be various question marks. And again, like I said, I'm pretty sure, when you look at it, it was an entertaining game for the neutrals. It was pretty end-to-end, and both teams looked like they could score 5 and concede 5. We did well to get back in the game. Like I said, on the transition, it looked too easy to cut us open. And that was my worry, in that we could be 2-1 ahead for large periods of that game. They get one opportunity and they score. So to know that we kind of locked it down was good. As I just said, we looked like we could score more, but we also looked like we could concede. In relation to Southampton, I think they pressed well. I think they created half decent chances. I feel their final ball was lacking, but they looked to threat. They dominated the first half for periods. For me, Lacazette, as I said, done well after missing that early chance. Xhaka, Saka, Pepe in particular, away from Holding and Leno, are looking very good. Smith Rowe, I want to see a bit more. I think it's a 5/6 out of 10 from him. He's making good passes and stuff. He's not playing ball, but it's like, you're like Saka for me now. You lot need to set it. And I thought I could have seen a bit more in the first half from Smith Rowe, but he was popping up in half spaces and doing 1-2s and all of those sort of things. Like I said, I think we can get more goals because ultimately we're pressing them into mistakes. They're giving the ball away very, very cheaply when pressed. And they're also kind of struggling when playing out from the back. I did think Bellerin is playing well, but I did think his partner at centre-half, whenever pressed, found the problem. When we're looking back at the game and how we can improve, it's another goal conceded from a set piece. Ultimately, we didn't track the runner sort of thing. And it was a reactionary piece of defending that led to that corner, really. We just had an attack, they had one. So again, we was the fact of us being open and whatnot ties into that bullet point. Second half, like I said, it comes down to maturity. We've got ourselves back in the game. 2-1 is a dangerous lead. We need to weather the storm. We need to somewhat kind of capitalize on Southampton's desperation, because at some point, their manager and them as individuals, they're going to have to sit there and say, do you know what? Would we rather lose 2-1 or 3-1? That means having more of a goal. So we have to just sit there and, when a lion in the jungle, when it sees its prey, it doesn't just pounce, does it? It waits and eyes up the motive and whatnot. And that's what I feel we needed to do in the second half. I did feel Southampton came out a bit strong in the second half, and there were passages where we had to withstand pressure, where we had to remain penned in, but we looked quality. Once again, we're quality. Pepe, Duppy, and man, Pepe was trying to be the first player to be booked twice after being subbed. Obviously, like I said, Smith Rowe and Partey's injuries don't make me be filled with any joy. But again, once again, you saw elements of it being end to end. I think we're giving Southampton too much time on the ball, and they're putting us under spells of pressure initially in the second half as a result. But we've hit them we're still playing well, and we've hit them on the sucker punch, Big up Saka for the maturity to play it for Lacazette. Big up Lacazette because I feel his performance deserved the goal. He's involved in the first with the pressing, got an assist and got a goal after missing. But people, that, Cedric is, what a pass from Cedric. What a pass from Cedric. And he did a similar sort of thing for Pepe against Southampton in I say the reverse game, but the game on Saturday. And just hearing some of Saka's post-game comments, he said he told Cedric, they spoke before the game, that he's always going to look to make that pass. So talking is one thing. It's lovely to see that they've been able to carry on in that regards, people. So yeah, my ending thoughts, I've only got 2 notes here, but my ending thoughts is obviously I'm happy that we've got 3 points. I'm happy that gives us a platform to build upon. I'm happy we've got back to winning ways very quickly after the disappointment on Saturday. Big performance from a number of individuals, collectively the whole team, but I feel in no order. Leno, Rob Holding, Granit Xhaka, Nicolas Pepe, Bukayo Saka, Lacazette, all had fantastic games. So individuals shined, and collectively it was a great game. We got 3 points. We came back from behind. We showed numerous mental aspects that we criticize of Arsenal today. Only disappointment is obviously we've conceded really and truly, and probably a bit too open, because if we was to just not look at the opposition, just look at the game and what we need to not do against United, we're going to, like Southampton, United are one of the best, if not United are probably the best counter-attacking team in the league with their front three and Bruno and whatnot. So, you can't afford to probably be that much open on the counter-attack against United, or the game's going to be different. And like I said, the injuries probably overshadow it. And when you think about, we don't know where we're at with Tierney, potentially Ceballos and Aubameyang as well. Thinking about Saturday, it doesn't make you feel good. But either way, it's a good reaction. 30 points. We're moving up in the world. I can't really complain, people. I'm a happy man in that regards, people. So yeah, that's my review in the game. Like I said, Arsenal 3, Southampton 1. You got, like I said, I always look at the St. Mary's games. That's a tough game for me. And we've taken 4 points off Southampton this season. We let ourselves down in the FA Cup. It's been and gone now. Arteta, it's not that is, I still think we could have played a stronger team or stronger individuals. But when you look at the injuries, in hindsight, in the FA Cup, it didn't make sense. We doubled down on the league. We made very clear the league is our priority. And we've won. If we lost, we've got to ask question marks. And it's lovely bottle from the players. The players, sometimes the worst thing is playing the same opponent straight away. And It means initially that we've learned from some mistakes. So I can't complain. So like I said, Arsenal 3, Southampton 1. It is what it is in that regards. Firmly, people, we go marching on to Saturday in what will be a big clash in itself, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. It doesn't cost a thing. Make sure you're supporting. We've got 181 likes. There's 505 of you watching, people. What kind of disrespect is that? Hit the like button. Arsenal won, for God's sake, people. What kind of nastiness are you lot doing? What are you guys saying? Dana said, we saying deluded quality result against a good team. Jay is saying smash the like button. Dal Square is saying, come on, DG, big up. What's good, DG? We got 3 points. I'm good, my guy, people. I'm good. Saka was sometimes poor today during the game with some of his passes and defensively, but he's still decisive. That just shows how good he is, different class. Personally, I think he was good defensively, and I think he played a lot of good passes, but fair play. Just a fan has said, I wasn't expecting that result. Come on, Arsenal. Liverpool beat Spurs tomorrow, and if we beat United, I'll be happy. Let's just see what can happen. I did feel the referees were buzzing. Referees look the other way when it's Arsenal on the receiving end. You're 100% correct, my guy. 100% correct, Brandon. We won. Players played well. I don't really want to harp on about the ref, but we all saw, and that was a comment I should have mentioned. The refereeing was atrocious today. But as an Arsenal fan, we always seem like we're moaning about the refs. But something definitely has to be looked into. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but a lot of results, a lot of fouls are going against us. And when it's us, it does feel like there's one rule for Arsenal, 10 for the others, sort of thing. It is what it is. Big up yourself, Josh. A man said the spreadsheet king is in the building. Blessing DGs. Lovely, man. Pepe. We asked and you heard. Now push on, bro. And that's it. Can Pepe keep doing this? Can he be consistent? Can he do it on a more regular basis? Cedric, superb. I told you about Cedric. I've seen Cedric play well a number of times. Let's see if this can continue. And he's also played shaky. Jack has said, sorry if you said so. I had the game on, but Cedric was a really smart signing by Edu and should be ahead of Bellerin when Kieran Tierney comes back. Not too sure for smart signing, but so far so good. We just need to see a consistent sort of run from him now. Cedric done me proud today as well. But again, I want to see this against United. I feel Cedric, if Tierney's fit, like what my man was saying, Cedric moves over to the right hand side. Tierney obviously resumes business at fullback. Like Sia said, make sure you hit the like button on your way in, people. Please make sure you hit the like button on the way in. Kevin Friend needs to be investigated. Kevin, no friends, bookie refereeing, man. I'm not gonna focus on the refereeing, but it's crazy, man. And you're right. He was right with the injuries. Really, this is why they're not necessarily played and things like that. You've also said Pepe played well. Xhaka passed forward. If Emil Smith Rowe and Partey are finished, we are injured. We're just gonna have to keep going, man. We're just gonna have to keep going. It's as simple as that. Cedric, man of the match for me because he was doing his job out here tonight. And in a good way, we can't pick man of the match. No, it was Saka. No, it was Cedric. No, it was this guy. No, it was that guy. And that's all we want. That's all I want, really. I can't talk of anything else. And like my man has said, it's nice to be here after a win and we can talk for once about the positives. Trust me. I just take things as they come, man. When we lose, we take it in our stride. When we win, take it in our stride, man. It is what it is. But it's a good result today. Good tactics from the gaffer, retained faith in some guys. Even found a way to slip Willian in, but who cares, man? Blessed with the content. Greetings from Philippines. Big up all the Filipino Gooners as well, locked in, and all the other Gooners worldwide. Please stop spamming. You're not going to get anywhere apart from blocked. Moderators, please do your job. Any spamming, mop that up. It's too late for that, really and truly. It's way too late. Just the fan that said, I never thought I'd say this, but Xhaka done well today. Xhaka did very well. Pepe was unplayable. Like my man is saying, if Cedric can be this consistent, then it will become a smart signing. Yeah, if he can be this consistent, but the key word there is if. Man said, I can't believe I found the non-toxic Arsenal fan. There's plenty of fans. You just need to stop going to the ones that play up for the cameras, I guess. Is what it is. Fair play to you, though, in that regard. Godly passing from Cedric. Crazy, man. Man said, talk about Hector. We doing the guy bad. I don't think Bellerin was bad today. I don't think he did anything bad, but he could have played better, in my opinion. The guys played with no fear. Facts, and that's what you need to see, man. That's what you need to see. Yeah, man. Should we talk about the player ratings, people? Should we talk about the player ratings, really and truly? Let me check. Let me swap the screen really quickly. Now, player ratings in a healthy way. Let me try and I always try to do the starting lineup by memory. So let's get all of this out of the way, or better yet, my thoughts out of the way. Leno. Let's start with Leno. Big up the Twitch gang as well. I see the Twitch gang in there as well. Big up the Twitch, Deluded Gooner 187. So let's start with the player ratings initially. Now, when I watch the game again, people, tonight, I might think differently. But for me, Leno, I'm going to give Leno an 8 because when we weren't all playing wavy, Leno saved us. Again, it weren't like he had a barrage of shots, but I think Leno's saves were vital today. When called upon, Leno did what needed to be done. Maybe I'm going with an 8, man, because again, him not being tested is not his problem. I'm going with an 8 for Leno. I feel once again his distribution was good. And that was one of my major concerns with Leno and has been for a number of years. I think his distribution has been good. Another thing with Leno for me has been shot stopping. He's a wavy shot stopper, but I'm sure you'd all agree at times he shot stops and sometimes he used to just punch it out to someone. Like, it'd be a great save, but he's palmed it to a next guy to tap in from 5 yards. I think he's improved in that greatly. So I'm giving Leno an 8 personally, people. I think Leno had a very good game in that regards. I'm going to give with Leno an 8, mate, probably a 7. But I always keep giving him 8s and saying it's a 7 because of this and that. He can't do anything else, people, in that regards. Who was next? Bellerin. I'll give Bellerin a 5. I'll give Bellerin a 6. I think Bellerin was cool today. Crossing could be a lot better, but he got forward. He put himself about. Would have liked to have seen him stop that cross that led to that, Che Adams header where Leno's made a fantastic save. I'm going to give Bellerin a 6, people. I think a 6 is a cool result for Bellerin. It's not that he was poor, but he didn't set the world alight. Personally, I'm going to give David Luiz a 5. I think David Luiz's passing was good, but I think there was too many heart and mouth moments, as minimal as they were for me with David Luiz. Sometimes I think he dwelled on the ball. I think, there was a couple of times in the second half he's switching off unnecessarily. I'm sure you'll remember where he tries to kick it first time. He's kicked it into Walcott. And there was one, to be fair, as good as I think Cedric was, one thing I think Cedric and David Luiz were doing quite poorly was they were inviting pressure onto themselves by dwelling on the ball in the second half when we already clearly got the result. And I feel there was one time David Luiz kind of did that. Pardon me, I'm sure you all saw that, where David Luiz, I don't even remember. Yeah, David Luiz actually, mistimes his interception and they go and have the counter. And then I'm sure you remember Leno's come out and David Luiz has even jumped over the ball and it looked like Che Adams can get it. At times, I think David Luiz was moving a bit dodgy in the game. So I don't think he was poor, but I think Bellerin was a little bit better than him. So I think it's a 5 for David Luiz. I'm going to give Rob Holding a 7. I think Holding had a good game today. I think, he was good with a lot of his headers, to be fair to you, Again, I think like Leno and Holding, when you've got Saka and the way Cedric played and all of these sort of things, people's results are going to get lost. But I think Holding did his thing today, man. I think he was good. Cedric, maybe a bit OTT, but I'm going to give Cedric a 9. I couldn't have asked. What more could I ask Cedric for? The only thing, and this is me cherry picking, is I think him and Luiz were doing a bit of madness at a stage. But I think Cedric was good today. That pass was amazing. First and foremost, no matter how much the modern day fullback is required to go forward defensively, you need to be spot on. And I think Cedric did his task well defensively today. First and foremost, he won his 1v1s. Much better performance at left back. He was still coming in on his right foot, but he played a lovely pass for Saka. I think Cedric was one of those that, again, it was a great team performance, but again, I can't pick a man of the match, but I know if I had to, it's between Cedric, Bukayo Saka, Xhaka, Lacazette. I'm probably missing out one man, Leno, as well, so I think Cedric played well. Cedric's arguably man of the match personally. I'm not gonna lie. I also big up Xhaka. I think Xhaka deserves an 8. I'm very quick to get at Xhaka. I don't think he's of the level to be starting week in, week out, but I don't think he's a bad player. Today, I think he stepped up. He was involved in 2 of the 3 goals. Our midfield was still completely open, but he can't do it alone. It was a crazy game. I think Xhaka was one of the standouts personally. Thomas Partey, I think Partey, quietly went about his business. I give him a 7. He didn't set the world alight, could play a bit better, but it's the positioning, it's the distributing the ball, it's the arts people don't see. People are only ready to praise Partey for his tackles and those lovely passes that he's able. But I think Partey did very well. Both of midfielders did well in the contexts. Smith Rowe, for me, he can get a 6. Bit of a quiet day. The passes were still there and stuff, but we've seen him have more of a mark in the game, and it's the same way that, like I said, if we was to talk about man of the match or whatnot, we're saying Leno, we're saying Cedric, we're saying Leno, Cedric, Xhaka, Lacazette, Saka, these sort of names. Smith Rowe isn't quite there. I think it was, by his own standards, he's been quite quiet, really, still a young man and whatnot. And it was, maybe if we didn't get this result, we'd be highlighting that a bit more. But it was lovely to see that other players stood up to be counted. But I don't think he was poor by any stretch of the imagination. Personally, I give Lacazette a 9 as well. For me, I thought Lacazette was going to move a bit shaky when he scored, when he missed that chance. But he scored, he pressed, and he assisted. He's involved in all 3 goals. And I think he was just good today, man. I think him and Cedric were good today. So I give him a 9. There's quite a few 9s coming out. I think Bukayo Saka, because even before the goals came in, I think Saka looked good today. I'm in a generous mood, people. Really and truly, maybe these should be 8s, but generous mood. Laka and Saka both get 9s for me. We're missing somebody out. Who are we missing out? I got so close, people. Pepe. Ooh. 8 or 9. I think it's a 9 as well, really. But I think Pepe was good today. I think Pepe was good. Man, I'm saying 10s for Pepe, for Saka. Good, good sort of things. I'm going to give Pepe a 9 because I'm on his back. I think I saw, the skills was good. He let himself down for the goal we conceded, but he's not alone in that. He reacted well. He was a focal point. I saw a bit of clarity from him. He looked better on that left-hand side and all of those sort of things. So, yeah, man, I'm going to give man a 9. It really should be an 8, but I'm going to give man the benefit of the doubt, man, really and truly. Man of the match, big up Arteta. I'll give Arteta a 9 for his team selection and all those things. Or a 10, really, because I can't ask you anything more. I can't say, why is Xhaka playing this guy? Why did you do Cedric? Why is Bellerin there? And this and that. I can't. Man of the match. If you had to force me to find a man of the match, I don't know, man. Because for me, Cedric's man of the match. Couldn't have asked him anymore. I can't forget what Leno was doing before we even got the lead. I think not quite man of the match, but I think he just hailing him up, people. I think people need to remember he had a decent performance. Not quite man of the match, stronger case than Holdings, but I think he's up there. Good turnaround. These 3 all got strong cases to be man of the matches. 4 of these are these names. I don't know. Because I think it might. I don't know. Good questions, man. I'll give them all praise, man. I think Pepe was good today. Maybe, like I said, I'll give him a bonus point because it was a good reaction. Probably should be at 8. These 2, I'm prepared to keep them at 9s. Good performances from the lads, regardless, though, man. And in that regards, what more can you say, really? Fantastic performance from them boys. So that's that in relation to the player ratings. Player of the season, Saka. She's doing a lot. It probably is that, really and truly. Man are saying Saka man of the match, Cedric was amazing, Saka, Laka for you. This is what we need, good problems, Who is the man of the match? Man are saying Cedric, big up the Twitch gang, big up yourself, really. Saka, it has to be Saka, man are saying. Cedric, Saka, Leno praise, Mikel Arteta ratings, 10s and 9s. I don't think Pepe was a 6. That one there is acting. Man are saying Pepe 8, lost out to a 9. He fell asleep on his marker. Fair play. Can't take away from that, but he reacted well. By that logic, could you say Lacazette 8 because he missed that tapping? I'm just playing devil's advocate, Pepe, solid 8. Pepe 8, great to see. Pepe 8. Pepe 8. Man is saying Pepe 8. Calm down. He might read this. I don't think Pepe watches DG. 9 for Pepe. 8s, 9s. Saka praise. So it was a good performance nonetheless from all the man them involved, really and truly. Man is saying Leno is like a combination of Chesley and Lehman, composed and reliable. Fair play. Quite the terms. But yeah, man, do your thing. I put Aubameyang on the bench next game. I can't lie. If Aubameyang's fit, Aubameyang will probably get his hand on his hand on that left hand side against United. But can't argue with any of that, really and truly. Leno was very commanding today. Had a go at his defense and was refreshing to see. To be fair, he's always blasting his defense, and it was lovely to see, especially before us even being ahead was a thing. You know, man are saying Saka, without a doubt, had the highest positive impact on the game. You know, I'm leaning towards Saka, admittedly, as well, my guy, but it's a difficult one, man. Now, I think you're being a bit harsh on Pepe. I respect your opinion. I'm not trying to force you to change your player rating, but 6 and a 7, you're therefore acting with that one there. Pepe deserves a better rating than that, but it is what it is, people. It is what it is. You should do post-match reviews with Turkish. Turkish has to reply to be able to do that. He has to reply to his DMs or his phone calls and or his WhatsApps and things, man. He's a busy man. I don't think he has time for DG, but it is what it is, man. Shout out to Turkish, and long may his channel keep prospering and all his endeavors. But the less said about next man, the better I'm focusing on myself. A man said, fell asleep after dinner and woke up to a victory. Man of the match, broski. Go and watch the game again. You picked the wrong match to fall asleep in. If you had to force me, it is between Saka, Laka, Pepe, and Cedric, I'd say. You know, Xhaka and Leno, quality, but man of the match, if I had to look at it on a really harsh one, probably, not that I'm belittling their performances or their performances weren't pivotal in their own little ways to our win, but that's what I'd do if I narrowed it down. And that's it. Enough top performances, and it's very difficult. And this is what we need, man, rather than just in different circumstances, we're immediately looking at Saka, at Tierney, at typically Gabriel and Partey, not because these players are playing poorly, but they're the only players 9 times out of 10 that are putting in shifts. But today, can't say anything. And this is what I mean by I praise and critique fairly. Today, all I can do is sing praises of several, man. This is it. And this is what I want to see, man. Please get the like buttons up, people. Come on, there's 500 odd of you. We're only at 315 likes. Come on. Should we use this team for Man U? Potentially. I would look to see if Tierney is fit. I personally would like him to move over to the man said Tierney. Yeah, if Tierney is fit, move Cedric over to the right-hand side and business as usual. If Tierney isn't fit, I know we probably shouldn't do it, but I'm actually leaning towards Saka wing back and then put Pepe in. And then if hopefully Aubameyang's back. But, you know, Cedric, I'll back him to play left back and do well. Pepe, man of the match, but Saka more influential. Finally caught alive. Big up DG in the chat. I appreciate all the members. Appreciated you lot, man. Really lovely to see positive performance from Saka. Pepe, even when he tried to when he tried to chip the keeper, just by seeing something and trying to do it quickly versus, should I chip it? Should I pass? Should I shoot? And ultimately ends to nothing. You know, Pepe starts for me. The next game is a benchmark to see where he lies in terms of abilities. I don't think it's an ability thing with Pepe. I think we can all see he's got mad ability. But everyone today in today's game's got ability. You know, it's nothing without consistency and application. I think you should change that sentence a bit. We'll see where he's at in terms of, you know, consistency, because ability, you know, he's not a world beater, but he's probably in terms of just having a lot in their arsenal, ironically and technically, there's not too many players just from a technical standpoint of view that stand next to him at Arsenal, really and truly. What separates Pepe from a lot of players is the decision making. You'd probably say he's got more to his locker than Saka. Why is Saka better than him? Speed of thought and football IQ. So I'd say in terms of consistency, that's where I think he's at, my guy. So I think that sentence has got to slightly change, but it is what it is. Alex, bro, man of the match between Bear, man. You know, they just got to fight it out. You know, they've all got to come like a dragon's den. Make them all present a case, because I don't know, man. You know, I really don't know. You know, North London original, great comment. Don't let me lose that. But you said, I think Pepe was key today. He was a big influence in us going forward. Aerial duels and was strong in his 1v1s. The only setback was poor defending on the corner. Fact. Colin has said Leno is so slept on, was playing like a third centre-back. So interesting to watch. In my opinion, him and Handanovic are the most underrated goalkeepers in world football right now. Big up DG. Big up yourself for tuning in, and also big up Leno. Holding and Gabby should start versus Man United. Rob Holding was 8 out of 10 today. Rob Holding, fair play. He played very well. If Marie is fit, put him in. I don't mind that, but similar to Gabriel, you know, there's going to be an element of ring rust. But to be fair, I don't think David Luiz should play against United based on today. I personally would bring Gabriel in and go with Gabriel and Holding, personally, for that game there, because United are going to have a lot of pace, and Marie's a good reader of the game, but we're probably going to play a higher line and it's going to get long, man. Elite post-match analysis. Big up yourself, Big Celt, and all the Scottish Gooners. I appreciate you each and every time. What else have we got? What happened to the Martinelli substitution? Smith Rowe got injured, innit? Smith Rowe got injured, so he needed to come off. Bellerin was the only below par player. Do you agree? I don't think Bellerin was below par. I just didn't, it's not that he was poor. It's just you never stood out, sort of thing. It's the same old from Bellerin. I know you can't really put a cross in. I wanted you to stop the cross that led to that good effort from Che Adams, but I don't think Bellerin was glaringly poor today and glaringly whatever. So is what it is. John, in relation to the lineup for Man United, that's one for the Arsenal versus United preview I'll be doing. So we'll speak about that in more. David Luiz was doing a madness today, really. I think, if anything, David Luiz was the one player for me off the par of it. He had some good opportunities, some good passes and whatnot. But, if Bellerin didn't do some of those brain farts, to put it nicely, he was doing. Half Vlogs has said, big up Deluded. You think we're going to be able to stop Leno from going to Bayern? Is there any concrete evidence in him going to Bayern? If there is, then fair play. If not, we'll have to think about that situation when it comes. You can't really turn down Bayern Munich. There isn't nothing you can do, really. One of the biggest clubs in the world, German. He's a German man. I'm sure no one can tell him how big Bayern Munich are. Champions League football, it is what it is. And I don't mind Pepe on the left. He's got less decisions to make. He's got to keep it simple. Bro, you're right, Tiger Martin. Shout out. Once a Gooner, always a Gooner. Theo Walcott was man of the match for us today. He was back to his usual ways and whatnot. Fully on that, man. I appreciate that Arteta isn't giving up on him. I would have liked to have seen during Arteta's tenure at this football club that everybody would get that same thingy, people. A man said Deluded Bellerin was par, which is below Arsenal standards. That's him. I don't really quite understand the sentence, but yeah, I listen. If you think Bellerin was off the par, that's your fair play. If you think Bellerin is a bad player or isn't a right back for Arsenal Football Club, that's your opinion. To me, I think we need another right back. I think Bellerin is shaky. I think performances like today is really where Bellerin is going to get. But I don't think he was poor today. I don't think it was a Rich Hunt thing. I think David Luiz was the only one that was significantly off the others. But fair play. I respect your opinion. Big up yourself and love for the super chat. You said, I start and end my day with people deluded. I'm back again. Big love from Switzerland, man. Thanks for the content. I appreciate those €5, bro. Thank you very much for tuning in from Switzerland. In relation to Willian, the subs really didn't have long enough on the pitch, people, really and truly. Like, I feel... Willian did okay when he came on. He's still doing the same nonsense. I'm just trying to be kind. Obviously, the game was done when El Nene came on, and obviously Joe Willett. There weren't really enough time, people. You should be angry he didn't come on. He just got the team tactics, and then he didn't come on. You should be angry. Who wants to be on the bench, especially when your team has scored 3 goals? That's what we need. But it's a squad game. He has to respect Arteta's decision, and we go again, really and truly. Do you think we should try out for Draxler? No, I think that one's gone. If he was allowed to come, I would. If he was allowed to go for him, or if we did go for him, I wouldn't mind him joining the club. But in regards to putting an all-and-out pursuit of him, it is what it is. Bellerin still has class in him. He needs proper competition. Push him all the way. Arsenal statesman through and through. Needs to be reminded his place isn't given, though. Fair play, him being an Arsenal statesman is irrelevant. Personally, I don't feel Bellerin is good enough long term. I think he showed you patches of playing well and patches of switching off. I don't think he's a bad right back. He does need competition and has suffered from a lack of sustained, legit competition. But, when I look at Bellerin, competition is the last thing I look at as to why I don't think you're good enough at Arsenal Football Club. I don't feel you're good enough going forward. I don't think he tracks his runners well enough. I don't think he's strong enough 1v1. I don't think he's strong enough physically. I don't think he's got enough engine in him. I don't think he's good enough on the ball. I think he hides a lot. And I'm not trying to that's my general comments. Today, I think he was good. And since we've kind of turned around as a team, he's been good. So my questions, and before I look at Bellerin's lack of competition, that's what I'm looking at. Well, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. To me, a 03 baby Bellerin is my Mr. Arsenal, so I can't really understand the slander he gets. Same for Arsenal, for Ozil. Okay, fair play. Boy, boy, I respect everybody's opinions. You know, that yellow card was a calamity as well. Show some kind of summed him up really, and in another day it could have got long for him. He should be reassured. It's just, it is what it is. Not everyone can play every game. You know, go and make sure you're the one that shouldn't be left out. You can't leave Saka out because he's made sure when you got your chance. Because what, Martinelli, when he came back from injury, he couldn't be left out of the team. Then he picked up another little lock. He was a bit rusty against Southampton. He never started. So when your next opportunity comes, remind Arteta walk on and what you're on. Simple as that. Deluded, has your thoughts on Arteta changed, or is it still early days? I think my thoughts are still the same. You know, I still praise and critique the man fairly. I haven't got no allegiances to Arteta beyond my support of you for being an Arsenal manager and wanting you to do well because it helps me. It's still early days, really. You know, all I want to see is, you know, we'll review it come May, really. Pepe got it all this morning. Cedric over Bellerin. Think Martinelli will start on Saturday, hopefully, but I'm not too sure, man. To be fair with you, you know, North London, good point. I think Bellerin lost a yard of pace. Losing a yard of pace has had him struggling at times. He needs to become more intelligent in his game. Pace can hide weaknesses in players' games sometimes, I feel. And that's what you said, you know. Either way, if you're a defender who relies on pace, are you a good defender? Because that tells me you're being a reactionary defender. That tells me that you're having to you're being out of position and your pace isn't allowing you to get back at that winger. You know, your pace should be a luxury. It should be something that can dig you out if you make a mistake and whatnot. You know, it's about the reading of your game. You know, Mertesacker, he might not have been elite, but why do you think guys like him can get away with playing at a relatively decent level without a yard of pace? Because off the ball, they're half decent. You know, their positioning, you know, again, you know, if you're an attacker that relies on pace, that you're telling me you're not an intelligent footballer. Because what happens when there's not space? You know, players that need too much space, they always worry me because I know the football IQ isn't there. You know, the best defenders are proactive. Like, ironically, my man has said, everybody sees Van Dijk for some reason. Everyone sees if Van Dijk came back for Liverpool tomorrow, and let's just say they played United have a great 3v2 counter attack. You know, Van Dijk has made an absolute last-minute slide tackle to deny Rashford. Everybody creams over that. That's what's going to be on Sky Sports and stuff. And I take nothing away from it. That's great defending. But, you know, nobody cares about, you know, if Van Dijk was in that same situation, he's realized what's going to happen. He's dropped off 2 yards and he's killed that counter-attack by just nipping in front of Rashford or whoever before it's happened. You get it? The best defenders are proactive. Defending ain't supposed to be glamorous. You know, man, I'm saying wasn't happy about Martinelli not coming on. Of course, I wasn't either, but, you know, it's probably nitpicking really and truly. There's nothing to be upset about today, unless it's the injuries of the players really and truly. You know, really. Big up yourself, Arsenal Queen, as well. I don't think they clashed, or not to my knowledge, they clashed. And if they clashed, that's unnecessary. Personally, it is what it is in that regards. Beat United and the league shakes up, but we cannot be worried about their placement. Listen, for me personally, I know we want to try and get top four or just Europe, but for me personally, I'm not watching none of that. Let's just deal with every game by game. Then when we put a run together, or if we get into the penultimate months of the season, then let's dare to dream. But for me, first and foremost, we beat Southampton. Let's just focus on United, and whatever comes after United, let's just focus on that really and truly. And let's just focus on minimizing where we drop points, maximizing where we pick up points. Simple as that, people, really and truly. Jay Stewart said, since Willian is playing the back cam role at the moment, do you think Odegaard might take him out the match day squad completely? I think they'll always find a way for Willian. They'll always find a way for Willian to be in the game, you know. We'll always find a way for William. But what can I say, people, man? Arsenal won 3-1. I can't complain. I've got nothing more to add, people, so I'm going to keep it moving and get out of here. I'll see you lot tomorrow, probably around 11:30 a.m. for a live stream. If not, you know, you'll catch me in the hours not too long after that. Please take care. I appreciate everyone who's been in this live stream. I appreciate everyone who kept rocking with me, obviously, for the live watch along and all my other content in general. Please make sure you hit the like button. Like C has said, big up C, because she does a good job of regularly reminding me to say it. And also you guys, keep hitting the like button, people, man. We should have 500. There's 500 odd of you in here, man. Every like makes the difference. On that note, though, I'm going to get out of here, people. Please make sure you hit the like button. Please make sure you hit the like button, man. As ain't worried about nothing is said, big up the chat, hit the like before you leave. And yeah, man, I'll see you lot again, man. You lot aren't going to miss my face for too long. You can't get rid of me. I'm always here.